Joshua Brisco out here at Arrowhead Stadium for Sports Radio 810 WHB as the Chiefs are getting ready to take on the Carolina Panthers this weekend. A bit of an uncommon opponent over in the NFC, but some names you'll certainly recognize, and the Chiefs talked about a few of those today. But first, a little bit of news from the day. Frank Clark did not practice with a sore knee. We do get some good news, though, as Sammy Watkins and L'Jarius Sneed are both returning to practice for the first time in quite a while. Mitchell Schwartz did not return to practice, though, with his back injury. The Chiefs bye week just 1 week away after they face the Panthers on Sunday, so a little more time it looks like in all likelihood, at least for Schwartz, to get fully healthy. We heard from a few players and, of course, Andy Reid today. We'll start with the head coach of the Chiefs. Speaking of Watkins and his return, we've talked a lot about Mecole Hardman over the last few weeks and the role that he's played in this offense. He's coming off of maybe his best game as a pro last week against the Jets. Reid talked a little bit about Hardman's development and what it takes to get fully comfortable in all of the roles a wide receiver has to play in this Chiefs offense.
He can play any position in there and knows them all and knows them well. So, and really the way Greg does it is, you know, the guys have a position that they know, but they're different personnel groups, even within the three wide receiver scheme. So you've got to be flexible when where you move. 1 week might be the same play as the week before, but you're doing something different and you're in just a different spot. So you got to have a pretty good grasp on things. You got to be able to get out of the huddle, and which becomes somewhat important, not always accomplished, but somewhat important, and get lined up and then know what you're doing in a short period of time.
If Watkins is able to return soon, either this week or taking the bye week and then returning the week after that, it'll be really interesting to see how Hardman's role in this offense evolves and if he keeps getting as much work as he did against the Jets. Again, maybe his best game as a member of the Chiefs. You love to see that. Specifically looking ahead to the Panthers, though, what the player that you certainly know about, have had, or played against on your fantasy teams is Christian McCaffrey. He's a dynamic running back that plays the position really unlike just about anyone else in the league, an incredible pass catcher out of the backfield. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes was asked about McCaffrey today and what it is that makes him so special.
He's a guy that can do it all. I mean, he can catch the ball just as well as he runs the ball, and he runs the ball well. So he's someone that can really is a mismatch for defenses. He can run the ball between the tackles. He can have speed to beat on to win on the outside, and he can run routes just like a receiver. So a talented guy, and I'm excited to get to watch him play.
Speaking of running backs, we also heard from the Chiefs' top running back, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the rookie now halfway through an NFL season. He also talked a little bit about the wear and tear on his body. Says he feels good right now, certainly a good sign. But they also added in Le'Veon Bell. He's gotten a little more comfortable in the offense as he's gotten really sort of slowly acclimated. Didn't get a ton of work against the Jets last week. We'll see him keep working into the offense, surely. He was asked what it's been like to have Bell added to the backfield and the advantages and disadvantages of having a second back like that the offense can really trust.
Ultimately, advantage is fresh legs and just being able to always be fresh on the field when you're in. And I mean, as far as being a running back, disadvantage is just, I would probably just say groove, and that's probably with every back. You know, just finding a groove to get in. But you know, getting in when a person's number is called, and ultimately we're pros. So executing when your number is called and being able to work with the opportunities that you get.
One more thing between Clyde and Bell. Edwards-Helaire did also talk about Le'Veon calling him before he signed with the Chiefs, said it was all about respect. Certainly seems to be a lot of mutual respect between both the rookie back and the veteran sharing snaps in this Chiefs backfield. One other young guy we heard talk today was rookie defensive tackle Tershawn Wharton. He went to Missouri S&T, then signed with the Chiefs as an undrafted free agent after the NFL draft. His story is fascinating. Again, out of Missouri S&T, not a lot of NFL talent coming out of that school right here in the state of Missouri. He talked about that process, that grind, going from Missouri S&T to now playing here in Arrowhead Stadium.
I knew I would have to work harder as far as not just not saying anything bad about my coaches, but I just knew a different level of coaching was out there. So I took a few steps of going out and finding training myself and just pushing myself through the off season. Because at that level, you know, people don't really push themselves through the off season. So I just pushed myself through the off season, reaching out to different trainers and making sure that I was going to be able to compete not only at my level, but if I did get talent in front of me that was higher, I could compete with them as well.
From Missouri S&T to Arrowhead Stadium, really a cool story there with Tershawn Wharton. That's going to do it for us out here at Arrowhead Stadium. For all the pressers, check out the Sports Radio 810 social media pages. You can find them on Facebook and on the Sports Radio 810 YouTube page. And for more of the best Chiefs coverage in Kansas City as we get you ready for Chiefs and Panthers this weekend, just tune in to Sports Radio 810 WHB all week long.